How about we change out a battery without losing any memory settings? Let's get to it. Alright, I'm going to change the battery out today on this Honda, and I don't want to lose any of the memory settings that are in this vehicle. Now, a lot of times when we disconnect the battery, the trouble codes that are stored in all our modules, like the check engine and stuff like that, we'll lose those. We'll lose settings in our radio, and in this case, this has a security code that needs to be entered in, so we would have to know that first. Depending on the vehicle, you know, a lot of times there are key off timers, so when you take the key out and then if you disconnect the battery or disconnect power to that control module is actually what happens. When you disconnect it within that key off timer timing, you will have to reset that module. Like in the case of this Honda, we would have to reset the window control unit if we turned the vehicle off and then disconnected the battery before that key off timer was up. So there are certain times and certain reasons why when you change out a battery, we may not want to lose all those settings, and we want to keep them in the memory. So in order to keep the memory and the settings and all those components and modules, we need a secondary power source when we disconnect this main battery. So for my secondary source of power, this is what I usually use, a jump pack like this with a little cable, a specialized cable that I use that connects to the data link connector. So typically you would just plug this in there, and then I could connect this to the data link connector, which always has power full time, and then this will be supplying power to the vehicle through our data link connector. But in this case, I'm going to show you a new tool I got. So instead of the jump pack, we're going to use this PowerProbe Draw that I just picked up. Now I bought this to do parasitic draws, but it works great for changing out batteries too. So let me show you how to use it. Now this thing works similar to the jump pack setup that I have, where we're going to be providing power to the vehicle with our data link connector right here. So first thing we'll do is power it up. Should come on pretty quick. So you see we have 0 volts on there. Now we'll connect this to our data link connector right here. Now we're connected. Now we're showing 12.4 volts. So that's what the vehicle battery is. That's 12.4 volts from the vehicle. Now if we hit smart output, there is an internal battery inside this unit, which is also a 12 volt battery. And when we hit the smart output, then it will be supplying power to the vehicle. And so then we can disconnect the battery and this thing will be powering up our vehicle. So if we just hit smart output like that, maybe I held it too long. How about like that? There we go. I pressed the button too long. But now we're providing 12 volts to the vehicle. So now we can go disconnect the battery and the vehicle will still be powered up with this thing right here. All right, I already removed the battery hold down. So now we can go ahead and disconnect our battery. Of course, we'll do the negative first, but we have to remember, although we're disconnecting the negative first, we still have power through our system because we have a backup on there. So we can't be careless, especially with our tools. We can't let our tools touch anything. You got a metal tool, you will arc this and probably cause some damage. So we just got to be careful about that. But now we can disconnect it, and we just got to make sure, you know, not to touch anything with this while we pull our battery out. So yeah, I'm always cautious about, you know, this thing right here when I have secondary battery on the vehicle, because obviously we don't want to do any damage. Now with the battery out, we can go over here and we can see what our actual draw is on the system right now. So you can see we're pulling 393 milliamps. That's because we just disconnected things and we still have a lot of modules that are awake. Obviously, if we were looking for a parasitic draw, we really don't want more than above 50 milliamps, but we're not worried about this. This will go up to 10 amps, so we can have things like this powered on, but I wouldn't be, you know, trying to start the vehicle with this thing or anything, you know, weird like that. Probably wouldn't operate, you know, the windows or anything that's going to pull a lot of amperage, the blower motor. Stay away from that stuff. But, you know, normal modules that are awake after you turn the key off, you should be okay powering them up with this thing right here. Now, we just have to be aware, you know, that this has to be charged. Now, of course, we have a full battery, and I've done parasitic draws with this thing where I've left it connected where it was pulling, you know, close to an amp for a couple hours. So this battery will last for a while, but obviously at some point we got to make sure to recharge it. We'll go ahead and snug this up. Of course, we will be cognizant of where our tool goes so we're not arcing anything. And we'll get the negative reconnected. All right, with our new battery installed, let's check things out. So you can see we're pulling 0 milliamps, but we're at 12.6 volts, so everything's looking perfect. Now you have to remember, when you first hook this tool up, if the battery in the vehicle is a little bit depleted, before you disconnect it, you may actually see this number rise. You may see it pulling a little bit of milliamps, and you may think, oh, my draw is there already. No, that's not a good test. What's happening is the two batteries are trying to equalize. So your battery in your vehicle is actually drawing power from this thing right here, and that's the amperage that you see leaving. So you still need to disconnect the main battery, and once you do that, then you will see your current draw. So that's just a little caveat that you got to kind of learn your tool and learn the basics of how electricity flows when you hook things up. But in this case, we're good to go. Now we can turn off our smart output. Now we're just back to normal, and we can unplug it, turn our unit off. Now, I like using something like this whenever I change out a battery, because a lot of systems, they need to be initialized or reset nowadays. Things like windows, tailgates, sunroofs, adaptive lighting, things like that. There are numerous control units that have to be initialized whenever you disconnect a battery on a lot of modern vehicles. And by doing it this way, we can save ourselves a lot of time and the necessity of having a scan tool like this in order to reset things. And so that's why I like doing it that way. Now, I do want to point out that doing it this way doesn't avoid all the things that need to be initialized or reset. A lot of vehicles have a battery sensor right here that senses the state of charge and state of health of the battery. When you change it out, it needs to relearn that you have a brand new battery. Now, some of them are smart enough to learn, after you shut the vehicle off a few hours, it can figure it out. Others, the manufacturers want you to go in with a scan tool and tell it that you replaced the battery. So just something to be aware of. Even doing it this way, we still might need a scan tool to initialize this. However, in the case of this old Accord, we're good to go. We don't need to do anything else. PowerProbe Draw. Cool little tool. Pretty handy to have in certain circumstances. And as always, if the video helped you out and you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.